So, Taylor Swift has been kind of missing in action lately. No Instagram updates, no surprise pop-ups, no cryptic capital letters and captions. But if you're a Swiftie, you know that when things go quiet, something big is probably coming. Fans are convinced it's finally time for Reputation, Taylor's version, and honestly, the clues are adding up. Here are 10 reasons we might be closer to its release than we think. Clue number 10, the social media silence. Let's start with something that Swifties noticed right away: Taylor's complete silence on social media. Her last post on Instagram was back in December, and since then, nothing. No likes, no comments, no Easter eggs. Now that might not seem like a big deal, unless you're Taylor Swift. Because let's be honest, she never goes this quiet without a reason. Think back to the build-up before Folklore or Midnights. She either teased cryptic hints, changed her profile aesthetics, or even posted coded captions. This time, just total digital radio silence. And for a fan base that's trained to decode every little thing, that kind of silence can feel louder than a full-blown announcement. Some believe she's taking a well-deserved break after the Eras tour, which is totally fair. But others? They're convinced it's the calm before the storm, the reputation storm. Clue number 9, the black and white aesthetic is back. Next up, the return of black and white visuals, and not just anywhere. Fans started noticing that during the last leg of the Eras tour, Taylor began leaning heavily into monochrome themes. From stage lighting to outfit choices, even behind-the-scenes content felt straight out of the Reputation era. And if we rewind a bit, this isn't new. Back in 2017, when Taylor wiped her socials clean before launching Reputation, the very first thing she brought back? Black and white snake videos. No color, no distractions, just a whole new mood. Now, even her recent appearances, like the Grammys or Chiefs games, have featured her in darker, sleeker outfits. And sure, that could just be fashion. But Swifties don't really believe in coincidences when it comes to Taylor. It feels like she's carefully easing us back into the world of Reputation, one grayscale step at a time. Clue number 8, snake symbols are slithering back. All right, you can't talk about Reputation without talking about snakes. Back in 2017, Taylor took a symbol that was meant to tear her down and turned it into her most powerful branding move ever. And lately, those snakes are starting to show up again, not in full force, but just enough to get people whispering. Some Swifties have spotted snake motifs subtly hidden in new merch drops, especially in the design details of jewelry and limited edition posters. And a few weeks ago, an email from her official merch store featured a very familiar black-green gradient, almost identical to the background used during the Reputation era. Even her team's recent social content, like Eras Tour teaser reels or Spotify visuals, the design felt layered and deliberate, with bold fonts and dark swirling textures that some fans say feel venomous. Maybe a stretch, but maybe not. Taylor doesn't just reuse symbols without intention. If snakes are creeping back into the frame, it could mean Reputation is about to strike again. Clue number 7, lyrical hints in her recent music. Taylor Swift's lyrics have always been filled with hidden meanings, and on the Tortured Poets department, some of those themes feel very familiar to fans of Reputation. Lines about betrayal, public perception, and reclaiming personal power have sparked comparisons to songs like Look What You Made Me Do or I Did Something Bad. Even the tone of certain tracks, more spoken, more direct, gives off a similar energy. Now, we're not suggesting these are leftover Reputation songs. But when Taylor starts exploring familiar emotional territory in new ways, fans naturally start to wonder, is this coincidence, or is it foreshadowing? Clue number 6, Reputation's growing presence on the Eras tour. If you've seen the Eras tour, either live or through the film, you probably noticed something. Reputation isn't just a chapter. It's one of the loudest moments in the entire show. From the thunderous intro of "Ready for It" to the flashing snake visuals, sharp choreography, and dark lighting, it feels like Taylor made extra sure that this era hits harder than the rest. And here's the interesting part. As the tour went on, some fans noticed that her energy during the Reputation set seemed to build. More intense, more confident, almost like she's rehearsing for something bigger behind the scenes. On top of that, some versions of the tour film included slight changes in the Reputation visuals. More contrast, more shadow, and more snakes slithering across the LED screens. That might not seem like a big deal, until you remember that Taylor plans everything. Nothing on that stage is random, and fans think she's using the Reputation set to slowly reintroduce the vibe of the re-recorded version. Clue number 5, Sam Wrench is back. You might not recognize his name right away, but if you watch the Eras tour through the film, then you've definitely seen his work. Sam Wrench directed the concert film, and Swifties absolutely loved how he captured the energy, detail, and storytelling of Taylor's live performance. But here's where it gets interesting. Sam Wrench is now being rumored as the director attached to a Bodyguard remake. Yes, that Bodyguard. And guess who fans want to see in the lead role? You guessed it, Taylor Swift. Now, while nothing is confirmed, the fact that Sam and Taylor have already worked so closely together is raising eyebrows. And in Swiftie world, a trusted creative partner returning often signals something big. Add to that the fact that he's known for high-concept visuals, dramatic pacing, and bold storytelling, all very Reputation-coded. Some fans think that if Taylor's prepping a full-on Reputation rollout, she might be lining up her dream creative team again, starting with Sam. Coincidence? Maybe. But knowing Taylor, probably not. Clue number 4, hidden messages in the Eras tour book. In true Taylor fashion, even her coffee table books aren't safe from speculation. When the Eras tour book dropped last November, packed with over 500 photos and personal notes, fans did what they always do. They zoomed in, they highlighted, they decoded, and guess what? They found things. One phrase in particular stood out. "Are you ready for it? Again?" It appeared in small print under a photo from the Reputation set, a reference to the iconic opening track, "Ready for It," but with a twist. There are also pages in the Reputation section that use bold black and white designs, with graphic elements that mirror the 2017 Reputation promo visuals. Some even noticed the background font that wasn't used in other parts of the book. Now, is it possible that Taylor just wanted the aesthetic to match the original era? Sure. But Swifties know that when something looks intentional, it usually is. And if Reputation Taylor's version is coming, slipping a message into the Eras tour book would be peak Taylor, a low-key Easter egg hidden in plain sight. Clue number 3, hidden URLs and deleted content on her website. All right, this one feels straight out of a Swiftie spy novel. Back in February, a few fans discovered something weird while digging through Taylor's official website. There were short-lived changes to the site's source code, including empty or inactive URLs with file names like RepTV Teaser and Snake23. They were quickly removed or replaced, but not before screenshots started making the rounds on Reddit and Twitter. Now, we obviously can't say those links were official Reputation TV materials. They could have been test pages or even placeholders. But here's what makes it more suspicious. Around the same time, her merch site briefly listed a password-protected section titled Black Space. It was only live for a few hours, and just like that, it disappeared. Add that to the fact that Swift's team has been known to drop clues in site code before. Remember the vault animation before Fearless TV? And fans started to believe we were seeing the digital blueprint of a rollout in progress. Maybe it's nothing, or maybe Reputation is already lurking just beneath the surface. Clue number 2, Reputation tracks are being re-registered. One of the most reliable signs that a Taylor's version is on the way? When her team starts re-registering songs behind the scenes. Swifties who track music rights databases, yes, those exist, noticed that several Reputation-era tracks were recently updated under Taylor's new publishing structure. We're talking about titles like Delicate, Don't Blame Me, and King of My Heart, all appearing with refreshed metadata under Taylor's current label deal. This process usually happens just before a re-release. It's the boring, technical part, but it's also one of the most revealing. Before Speak Now, Taylor's version, and 1989, Taylor's version, came out, fans spotted the exact same pattern. Songs quietly shifting into her control, with small updates in licensing info and ISRC codes. Of course, it's possible that her team is just organizing assets. But if we've learned anything from Taylor's re-recording journey, it's this. When the paperwork moves, the music usually follows. Clue number 1, that one outfit. Let's be honest. When it comes to Taylor Swift, outfits are never just outfits. And during the last few Eras tour shows, there's been one look that had Swifties collectively losing their minds. A black, skin-tight, high-neck bodysuit with silver accents, almost identical to the one she wore during the original Reputation Stadium tour. The shape, the vibe, the attitude. It was giving 2018 in the best possible way. Now, Taylor changes outfits constantly on tour, but this one stood out. Not just because it was stunning, but because it felt intentional. The moment she stepped on stage in that look, Twitter exploded with "Rep TV is coming" tweets, and fan edits were everywhere within minutes. Some even pointed out that the stage lighting during that section shifted. More strobe lights, heavier shadows, just like the original tour. We've seen it before. When Taylor's preparing for something, she starts to re-inhabit that era. And in this case, she's already dressed for it. So, with all of these clues, from cryptic outfits to silent websites and snake-shaped Easter eggs, it really feels like something Reputation-related is on the horizon. Is it confirmed? No. But when it comes to Taylor, confirmation usually comes after the clues, not before. And honestly, the build-up feels familiar, almost like we've been here before. So now we want to hear from you. Do you think Reputation, Taylor's version, is coming soon? Or do you think Taylor's got something completely different up her sleeve? Let me know in the comments. And if you're into deep dives, Easter eggs, and everything Swiftiverse, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one.